be able to win out on that front, get themselves in more of a comfortable position to try and take this. Obviously, for Endpoint, it's going to be more of your classic sort of what you wait for. Obviously, ban out all those puggy maps, leave them sort of their standpoint.
Yeah, again, you mentioned it. Cash ban, obvious, Endpoint's best map, really. Endpoint ban Mirage, Descent beat Method on Mirage. What do you think about Nuke or something? Overpass, Endpoint love Overpass. They beat Radix on Overpass. They did lose close fashion to Reason Overpass last week, though. Endpoint banning Inferno, Descent played Inferno versus Reason. Obviously, if you're Endpoint, you've got a better map pool, you just ban out what they don't like. And it's going to be Train. Hopefully, we don't see 60 rounds again. Yeah, Train, obviously, if you didn't see it, when Endpoint went up against CEX, that went to Fumph overtimes, went all the way through. It was quite a slobber knocker. Yeah, that's an understatement as well. It was like 31 to 28 or something ridiculous. Yeah. Each team just throwing rounds, multiple teams having match points, just didn't know how to close out games. Seems like, yeah, we have a 3-round advantage with 3 match points. Let's just rush B every single round, because one time it worked, but it didn't. You know what we haven't seen as well, once from Endpoint at this point? We haven't seen the entire roster fully fielded. We haven't had Imi, Cryptix, Max, Pickles. Wasn't there the week where Imi played on his bird? Oh, Jess was out. Yeah, and they brought in Smoothie. That's what I mean. We've always had some replacement for 1/5 player. There's never been the full consistent roster. And they won versus Radix. They lost versus Reason. They're currently 1-2 right now in the Premiership. So this win is paramount. It's crucial. They need this win. Yeah, they have to try and pick this up to give them sense of favor. Right now, they are currently within the top 4, but they can drop out so easily. They're not in a good standpoint at all. It's purely off the back of round difference they're even in there. I mean, especially now you're bringing in Method into the game, right? Yes, they're 0-3 down, but they have got the win on the board. They're looking decent with Silver, but obviously, he knows if he's just subbing in or whatever. But Method, obviously, yes, you can't always count out. Yes, they are 0-3 down, but you can never let your guard down versus them. They can always claw it back. They're a team that has the slow starts, and then they flip things around when they swap sides. But obviously, there's a lot more weeks left. 4 more. Well, they've played this. 3 more weeks for Method. They can still get 12 points on the board. They can still potentially make top 4. So if you're Endpoint right now, you are 1-2. You need the win versus Team Descent. That is a must. Yep. Endpoint, you've got to kind of favour them going into this as well, though. Endpoint, known quantity, we know how they play, know how they've been working. Sure, they've kind of been a bit all over the place, really bouncing around, nowhere near consistent. It's very sort of flip-floppy. But for Team Descend, had a good start, but it's just kind of been a downward spiral for them. Maybe they can show some of that confidence. They have talent, we've seen that, but it's talent that you can't rely on, it seems. No, Artis. Yeah, and Artis was... Week 1, Artis was huge. And week 3, I think. Yeah, but this is the thing with Artis is, as what we sort of saw from that, it seems like even though he's a powerhouse, if something goes wrong, Artis takes it to heart incredibly heavily, and that's where the issues start to arise. Instantly leaving games. Yeah. You can tell the frustration just from that. So, it will be the pistol round coming into play. It's going to be the utility ball up for a Y problem. Who is that? Imi, probably, yeah. Which people use actual names. Anyway, it's going to be the fastest Kevlar on the CT side, so if the retake happens, they could be in a dire situation. They're going to push their way through. Tesco trying to hold towards Ivy here. Snipes down the first man. Pickles will fall. Pickles, normally a bit of a monster on these pistol rounds. That could come back to bite him. Lols as well. Rotates over. Will find the frag back on towards Imi as they're left in a 3 versus 4. They have gained some map control, but they're left in these awkward angles. Endpoint, they can't peek out. They can't really do anything too efficient, and they are all falling. It's left on Cryptix. A 1v4 clutch with just a Glock in his hands, and he loses his head to Ad. He switched it up. He's no longer ACL. God, that was He's just awful, called Ad. Wasn't it? Yeah. You know what, Ad? Well done. He's still got a little pump in his perfect pitches, which is slightly different. Anyway, it's going to be 1-0 as Team Descent win the pistol round in a very convincing fashion. 4 players staying alive for them. Endpoint getting mowed down with pure headshots. But obviously, Team Descent are no stranger to skill. It's what happens when they have utility. The AWPs, the buy rounds and the strategies come out to play. How will they adapt to that scenario versus a team like Endpoint? Even though the scout trying to get the aggression, but obviously gets tagged up. Yeah, a little bit awkward there with the overextend. He's really pushing in deep. No real coherency right now as the T's do push through. Pickles will be the first to fall. Imi struggling to find these frags, and Lols is just waiting by stop sign, ready to find these kills. It's quite easy for the side of Team Descent at this point. Endpoint just getting ripped straight through. What's interesting as well is the fact that Ruler actually dropped over Imi the scout there. Quite strange. Yeah. So, it's going to be 5 players staying alive right now for the CT sub. Bomb was not planted on the first initial pistol round, which means we are going to be seeing the buy coming out in round number 3. This could be the full eco right now for Team Endpoint on the T side. This is another round where these SMGs, the CT side can build up as much cash as possible, stash it in the bank and have it once the buy rounds do come into fruition. And obviously, in a scenario like this, you want to have 6,000, 5,000 in your bank account, so you can buy for 2 more rounds in the buy rounds in case Endpoint do make it, what, 3-2, or claw things back slowly. But yeah, the fact that Ruler dropped Imi the scout, he had the Deagle and it was Kevlar on Imi, means that Imi's feeling confident going into this one, I believe.
First frag is going to go the way of Tudson. Ad as well gets a nice tag out. We'll switch out to the smoke at this point. But just refaces, finds a beautiful headshot over towards Pickles. Molotov goes down as well as the push starts to go towards him. They're attempting to overwhelm him. Max was just trying to stay alive. You could see him leaping in the air, but eventually will fall into the fire and flames and goes down. So very awkward rounds there from Endpoint, but at least they have money in the bank.
Only a player to actually get a kill in this whole game is Ruler. After 3 rounds, it's been fairly flat run out for the T side. What's interesting there, mate?
Already doing better on his T half than he was last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even flame.
Banter aside, as we go into the first buy, let's see what we have into play. It's going to be the 5 AK side run out for Team Endpoint. No AWP into play. Quite interesting, but the flip side, it's going to be Tudson and Ad wielding those weapons. It's going to be the fast play towards B. Can he catch Pickles off guard? No, he can't, because Pickles has gone down pop dog.
This thing though, nice aggression actually coming out from Ad here. Obviously, if they would have been there, it's a huge amount of information. You can normally get away with that opening frag. It would have been interesting to see how that would have gone down. But Max finds the first kill towards the A bomb site. They're going to try and hit him with the aggressive shotgun or style CS. Cryptics is damaged, but talking of damage, Tudson, elevated angle comes out. Beautiful frag there as he takes him down. If he can do more with this, this could be a huge round, but Pickles will dispatch him. It all falls over towards Ad. Goes for the smoke shot, but realizes this is way too risky. Just back off, hold on to that open to the next round. Surely this is unretakeable.
Unretakeable indeed, Jack. So it's going to be the save coming out from Ad. 1 versus 3, has an AWP in the retake scenario, also has full utility kit and the AWP. And look at his money as well, $800. So he was the player that died to Ruler, and he's reinvested, well I say reinvested, basically put all his money into the AWP, and obviously if you threw that away in a very unlikely scenario would be rather silly. It's going to be 3-1 as Endpoint won the first initial buy round after conceding the first 3 from after losing the pistol. That's what the buy's going to be like from Team Descent. Once again, obviously, Ad saving this AWP will be crucial for the money that comes in to these rounds. Wow, so this is one of the issues, Jack, of when you do not buy SMGs.
Yeah.
Because it means you don't build up as much cash as possible. You invest into the M4. As soon as you die in the first buy round, it leaves you completely...
Sorry, mate.
Sorry,
it leaves you completely sorry?
I'm not crying. I'm burping. Completely broke.
All right.
Anyway, it's going to be the FAMAS coming out for Ad. SMG for Frank. Double down 4 set up for the Tesco and Lowell's, and the AWP into Tudson's hands. And once again, it's going to be the Ruler. Well, I say once again. Ruler wielding the AWP. Once again from last week, we're going to be bringing that one. Had a very poor T side with the AWP, but can he step up into train? And that one, this is very T-sided. Lowell's getting aggressive now towards Pop Dog. Maybe got spotted up through the smoke on the radar. Who knows? As the tag does come through, but still 5 versus 5 is eventually looking like the T's are opting to assault towards the A-bomb site.
Lowell's as well, one of the standout players we have seen at one point in time for Team Descent. He can step up when he needs to. Tudson has been looking fairly good into this round, though. Obviously, the AWP being passed over from Ad towards him could be quite effective into the round. He is situated towards that B-bomb site, though, so he's listening out for this information. They need to call for him quite quickly as this push comes through. Endpoint now fully committed towards the take towards the A-bomb site. They dispatch Tesco as they do find a sniping headshot. Lowell's, though, elevated angle in play. He gets a double kill. Really starts to do a little bit of work as Frank playing for a stop sign as well. Unfortunately, will fall. They're left in a 2 versus 2 now as Ad will find their frag back on towards Pickles. It's all on Tudson. Takes down Cryptics. And it's Imi, the in-game leader, the man with the brains. But does he have the brawn?
1 versus 1 out. Tudson with the AWP. Flashbang as well into his arsenal. It's not really the ideal situation want to be in. Coming from behind, it's going to get the drop actually. 1 headshot. Oh. It's a nice flank there. Does seal the deal. Imi goes down, does expect the flank coming out. And actually, Tudson will outbrain the Brain Master himself. I guess you could call him the brains of
the Brain Master.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Tactician, mate.
Yeah, there you go. The tactician for the Endpoint side. It's going to be 4-1 and Endpoint are reset. Luckily for them, though, they did save up 3 rifles from the previous round, and they had the bomb planted in the remaining 2. So they are going to be able to force up into this one. They can save this one a 4 buy up into round number 7, but obviously we are going to give away a full eco round to Descend, and that's a round where the CT side can build up as much cash as possible. It's going to be the AWP, single AWP setup for the CT side now, no AWP for Ad. It's going to be the M4 for the 3 players in the CT side, and once again the SMG for Don the Franco. Double deagle play for the T side, and it's going to be 3 AKs to finish with the rest of the buy. Let's see what they're going to bring into round number 6. Fast play towards B already. They're going to be trying to push in, but Tudson with the option on it first.
Tudson actually lets it slip, though. He doesn't land the shot, so this is really going to be a bit awkward. He backs off. Meanwhile, Endpoint set themselves up. They have an abundance of utility to play with to set themselves up into a better standpoint into the round. And they know Tudson is low, so it's just a matter of time in how Endpoint want to approach this.
Smoke comes out towards Heaven. It's going to block off all of the vision that Tudson should get. 2 players still remaining towards the CT half of B. 2-3, so that will be the CT defense now. 3 towards A. And then 2 towards B. Another man, actually, it's going to be Lowe's rotating back towards B, but actually I think the player's going to go that back down. Pop Dog. Biggles is down, but as the bomb dropped as well, that's the bigger question right now.
Ad's playing that contact angle as he peeks over by Train. Does peek into the crosshair of Max. Max takes him down. This is forcing the rotate as well. Look, everyone has completely left the A bomb site.
Why, Tesco? Why?
They haven't even seen bomb. They actually realize it's a double fake as well here, and they start to reposition towards A. It's so late into the round. Endpoint as well. Only just go for the commit. So now the defense is back towards the site. Tudson finds a headshot on towards Mighty Max. It's just left on Frank, and somehow he finds the frag with the UMP, and he's still staying alive. They pick towards him. Ruler has to land the headshot himself with that AK-47. Left in a 2 vs 2. Molotov goes out, but they're lacking utility now on the side of Team Descent. It's only 1 flashbang remaining for Tudson. And he has that defuse kit as they make the slow approach. Just relies so heavily on Lols to actually find the kills, but Ruler is in a pretty powerful angle. The peak comes out, struggles a little bit, eventually will eliminate Lols. Cryptics with the deagle as well. All he's got to do is make noise at this point, distract Tudson, and he realizes it's way too risky.
Yep, Tudson going to cut his losses there. No HP for him. The retake nigh impossible, as he will save into round number 7. It's going to be 4-2. There's Endpoint win the force by just the 2 deagles. The remaining 3 AKs. Obviously, crazy scenario in terms of rotates there. Tesco, without spotting... Okay. Rule number 1 as the anchor player towards any site is you rotate off bomb. Tesco there, I mentioned before, sick aim. But, yeah. I mean, obviously not really showing up in terms of the tactics or the strategy there. I mean, it's just basics where you see the bomb as the anchor, you finally rotate. You can never be fast rotating, giving up full control of outside, but luckily for him, he did realize he made the mistake. He went back, went to a stop sign, he found 1 kill, but was eventually traded out. That will grant 4-2 now. Going to be the force by coming from Team Descent. If they win this, if they lose this one, sorry, that's where Endpoint should get to 4-3. Team Descent going to be in full eco. It's going to be 4-4. That's where Endpoint get back into this one. Anyway, it's going to be the peak coming towards Heaven. Max, oh, the timing there, chucks the flashbang, but eventually we'll go back. Tudson can hold the line as well towards B. He can hold this angle all by his lonesome. It's going to be 4 players staying towards CT side of outside, towards the A bomb site. It's a good read here, but unfortunately the AWP play is only really holding off and fending off pressure towards the B bomb site. So only 4 pistols here for Team Descent to hold off the aggression and eventually execute coming out from Endpoint towards A.
I have that utility to play with as the smokes do go over. They will go for this push towards the bomb site. Flashbangs raining through the skies now as they start to make their play in. They're going to peek out, find that frag straight away as they remove Lols from the situation. Tesco will land the deagle shot back on towards Cryptic. So Ruler as well comes into effect as he punishes Don Frank. They're just left with 3 players raining on the side of Team Descent. But Ad, close and personal, finds that headshot himself with the CZ, gets into an elevated angle now. If he plays his cards right, could take down Ruler, as Tudson has already killed Pickles. But unfortunately, it isn't going to go down like that. It's left on Tudson, AWP in hand. It's a 1v2 clutch for him to try and pick up another round off his individual skill, but Ruler is fed up with him.
Big 3K there from the sub of Endpoint. Second game for them as well. Started off strong on the last map, last week in the Premiership, and this time he's doing the exact same. Big 3K from him. Well, some out to round number 3. It's going to be the eco coming out from the CT side now as well. 4 for Team Descended, 3 now for Endpoint, but it's looking like 4 when you take a look at the buys on paper. Around now, with the T side should be able to build up as much cash as possible and have money for the remainder of the half. Aggression towards outside, it's a good read here from Imi. It's actually the stack from the CT side is towards B.
Flooding their way through. Imi will take down Tesco as he gets the opening kill off the back of the AWPs. There's just 4 players remaining for Team Descent. Cryptics plants the bomb, and they just hunker themselves down. They understand that there's just going to be an aggressive play together with these Team Descent players if they attempt to do anything here. They're just going to play for exits. They're just going to try and build up a little bit of cash themselves, as they are in an incredibly awkward scenario to try and go for the win here. Just playing with pistols. They've not invested anything in surround. I mean, we see what? 1 P250 on Tudson, so it doesn't matter if they die. Just try and catch Endpoint off guard when they exit.
So, question right now is, can they salvage a gun or 2? An M4 would be huge for their economy. He comes through, obviously no Kevlar onto these remaining CT players. An easy spray down. Deagle comes out with AWP shots there, but nevertheless it will be eventually. 1 player staying alive right now for the CT side, but 5 staying alive right now for Team Endpoint. Tudson there, trying to see if he can find the scraps of any guns or any remaining T players, but nothing can be found for him. It's going to be Round number 9 now, so another buy comes out from the CT side. Tuzden going to go for the glass cannon AWP, and he will do just that. It's going to be the 4 M4 buy right now for the CT side. And a single up setup on both sides. It's going to be the AWP onto Imi this time. No longer Ruler wielding that gun. Imi snatches it out of his hand, says, actually, mate, I'm the primary AWP now. Let's see what Imi's going to do with it. What number is Imi? Number 7. Already, though, it's going to be fast aggression as Cryptix leads the charge through Sandwich.
Ruler gets into backline already at this point, but you can see him tunnel vision in. He didn't realize the location of Frank, but luckily enough, he does adjust his aim. Pops his head clean off. Imi as well, punishes lols, and they're in a 3 versus 3. They've lost a lot of firepower on either side already. Ruler actually gets a good positional playoff as he will kill Ad.
Ruler's low HP. 2 versus 3 are now. Possession of the bomb in scope of Tuzden's AWP. He misses the shot though. Actually, I think it's Imi shooting around. Does retrieve the bomb. Tesco's going to hear it. Does he spot out the foot though?
Oh, he doesn't quite realise the foot is just under there, and he peeks through. Imi will take him down. Tuzden is always the last alive for Team Descend, trapped in these awkward scenarios. Once again, AWP in play, but he has no armor and 2 flashbangs. This isn't the round where he tries to run the risk again. He can't make magic today. Just back off and keep yourself alive.
Yep. Glass cannon AWP as well. One shot from any of these weapons will trigger aim punch. Oh, almost gets the drop on Imi then. Nevertheless, though, Ian Harding survives, and so does his band of merry 2 men. It's going to be 3 players staying alive right now for the T side, or make it 2, or make it 1. Because it's all down to the mighty himself, who runs back through Whitehall's, retrieves Imi's AWP, and it's going to be 5-4 now. As Team Descent, they win through in the trap from the pistol, they win the buy run, the reset endpoint. But as soon as the buy runs came out, utility and strategy was in play. Team Descent haven't been able to keep up with the players coming out from Endpoint. The aggression as well.
Scary as well here, because Endpoint right now, they need to try and get more of a buffer than this. Already allowing Team Descent to claim 4 rounds, they need to get so much more, because their CT half for Endpoint on train in recent form, it's been pretty shocking, to say the least.
Yeah, it has been. But anyway, Flash comes in, this could be massive if they do decide to push. Blinds them all, but unfortunately no one committed down the ramps, they won't get the pick just yet.
Oh, Pickles with the rifle, normally quite powerful, but not when he's laying on the floor, down and dead, as Tuzden finds the opening frag. Swiftly moves himself around as well. He's in a good angle to do so much more damage with the AWP. Tried to just go for the shot through the smoke, but didn't connect the kill. Actually finds out Max, though, as he got trapped on ladder, working his way down. Ad did line himself up to do damage with the deagle, but couldn't quite connect the shots. It's all Tuzden. He's already got 3 frags into the round. Another kill comes out, but this time it's going to be Tesco. It's left on Imi. No Molotov to play with, no utility either. Trapped in an awkward location, just gets spammed down by Tesco. Tuzden gets the defuse, and that is going to be the rounds wrapped up 5-5.
Hashtag Lazo was right.
Yeah.
That's why I save the AWPs, lads. Big 3K there from Tuzden, puts him on to 15-2. Oh my goodness. So, Eco 1 for them. Obviously, a few of those kills were exit kills, so it does add to the brand. Nevertheless, it's going to be 5-5, round number 11 right now, and so far, so good from Team Endpoint. They have another buy to come up. Team Descent, having 3 players still alive for the CT side economy, should be able to build as well as was the Eco, so they're going to have extra money in the bank. Imi finds the first one to Frankie. It's going to be a 5 versus 4. 1:40 left on the clock, and already aggression towards Ali.
Unfortunately, there for Frank the Tank.
Don Franco.
He's tanked into this round.
Hey. Frankly, not good enough, is it? That took you so long to get.
I was trying to think of an instant comeback, mate. Trying to think of something else. I understood the joke.
Yeah, okay, good. You had me worried then. Just by your face, it puzzled.
What do you mean? His name is Frank.
What do you mean?
Push comes up. Tesco, though, looking like he's going to try and find a couple of kills here as they do push their way through. He will find one, but he can't quite get the 2 for Tuesday deal.
Can't, mate. Misses out on his opportunities. It's going to be a 2 versus 1 now. Ad, very inexperienced player versus Ruler. And Imi himself finds the first frag. It's going to be 1 versus 1 minute left on the clock, and Ruler trying to go back towards. Pop Dog lands on that shot there. It's going to be 5-6. That's money. Reset now for Team Descend, as there should be and they got decent money, of course. 7,000 after Tuzden. Tuzden did save. So, question is, do they go for the open to Tuzden? Do they drop over an M4? No, nice guy. Does seem like a nice guy here. Doesn't drop over the 2 M4s. Instead, buys the AWP for himself. That's going to mean a CZ instead of a rifle for Ad. And it's going to be 2 M4s, 1 AWP, and then the 2 pistol buy. Once again, the Tuzden wins the duel, but Pickles there for the fast reply. Yeah, that's a beautiful trade back from Pickles as he will rip his head clean off. Oh, another headshot comes out from Pickles as well. He's looking crisp right now. Could it be Pickled Onion? Crispy has been left in the oven too much. It's too hot to handle right now. Ruler finds another frag, but Cryptus can't quite get it. Eventually, though, Mighty Max will trade the kill. It's going to be 1 versus 3. Gets the drop, though, but somehow, some way, this is a what the hell is going on?
I don't know how he still manages to stay alive, but he gets it. It's just a 1v1 off the back of that incredibly flamboyant play. He gets himself to the elevated angle as well. Max is just up ahead by Sunstein. Oh, he lands the tag, but not quite the frag, and Max will shut him down.
So, very close rounds for both teams. Obviously, Tutson went for a rephase there. Then Pickles, this second shot is very clean. Goes to the rephase. Boop. Down you go, Bob's your uncle. This is weird. This is a weird round. How on earth has he had time to pick up that gun?
Get that
reface, yeah. I mean, if he won that,
yeah,
would have never have had the end of it. Anyway, it's going to be 5-7 now. 2 rounds separated, 2 teams. Should be 8-5 now, especially now as is Deco coming up for the CT side. And they stacked the wrong bomb site here, Jack. Seems like Imi has the upper hand after all.
I guess you could say that play just didn't add up.
Yes, exactly.
But talking about adding up some things here, they have got, they've added 2 and 2 together, so they make their play towards that B bomb site. Pickles, though, once again with the entries, finds 2 nice little frags. Pickles just roaming through, distracts them, but it's going to be Cryptics to find that kill. And it's all on Ad. He's in the back line, just sliding up the ladder, playing a bit of snakes and ladders right now, hoping to bait them to drop down. So we can strike like the mighty Cobra, but he will just hold
Cobra?
Sorry?
It's not Cobra.
That's just your opinion.
You can have that one. Tweet at hashtag ESL Prem. Do you say, well, the snake, is it called a Cobra or a Cobra?
See, here's the thing, though. Everyone's just going to be typing Cobra because you can only type it
No,
one
but
way,
like, is it CO-bra or is it COB-bra in terms of...
It's not Spider-Man, mate. It's not Spider-Man.
No, but I meant
like,
in terms of enunciation.
CO-bra.
Do you not get what I'm trying to say?
Am
I thinking too high above your level? I'm joking.
Spider-Man. I don't get it.
No.
Why is there a dash in his name? What does it mean?
Do you not get that? when a word's written down, it's broken up into how you say it. Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra. Yeah.
Whatever, man. It's going to be 5 versus 5. 5 rifles, Snorps into play. Take it away, Mr. Cobra.
Yep, Mighty Max will strike because he's able to find that opening frag back on towards Hudson. Now they're pushing their way down towards this A bomb site. He's trying to force that rotate out, really keep them on their heels at this point. But Ad, meanwhile, towards B. Peeks out, but he only gets 1. Look at him so much more. He had the potential, but it's really not going to go down like that. Max with a nice flick. Good reactions on display there. Those new glasses are helping him.
He does look fresh with the glasses, doesn't he?
He spiced it up, mate.
Yeah, he did.
It's a new look.
It is.
It's, well, you know, it's like a new accessory. He's just been wearing the default outfit for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Bought himself a new accessory. He's popped it on.
Yeah.
And Max is looking fresh.
Yeah, he is.
+1 to intellect. It's good.
Yeah.
Gives him an extra bit of start boost.
Oh, yeah. See what you want
there you go.
Yeah,
he's got the reference.
Yeah. Obviously, we're not casting method, though, so it's not really as heavy as hitting.
Well, ooh.
Tesco there slaps him back, says, no, thank you, mate. Right between the glasses themselves.
Well, I guess Max isn't short-sighted then.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he isn't.
Yeah.
5-9 is the scoreline.
Why did that rhyme? Why did that
I don't know, that sounded quite good, didn't it?
Not really.
No, it didn't. It's going to be, what, 4 rounds? 5-9, yeah.
Spider-9.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about training us losing our minds.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't lost mine. You've lost yours.
That's reminded me of, by the way.
Oh, no.
Do you remember when we went and watched Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and to the right of us, someone was like trying to tweet, and he just kept looking at his friend, just going, God's sake, Tim, I'm trying to tweet that we're watching Spider-Man. I just keep delete the hyphen. Just keeps adding the hyphen in. Why is it doing that? And I was just sitting there just going, well, yeah, of course. What do you mean it's not called Spider-Man?
Tweet us at ESL Prem and give us your opinion on whether it's Spider Dashman hyphen even hyphen.
What, 2 different things?
Here we go. Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be 5-9, 4 rounds between these 2 teams. This is going to be the Deagle and Ad to do 2 M4s, Scout onto Lols, and then the Mag 7 on to Tudson.
Yep. And hyphen point here, looking like they're going to go for that push towards the B site.
B dash side.
But he does go down.
Why hyphen problem?
Yep. Well, yeah, there you go. Classic.
Wait, why hyphen problem took down Ad hyphen?
It's all connected, mate.
Yeah.
It's a weird conspiracy.
I know.
At least Frank spiced up a bit. He's gone for the underscore.
Yeah. Okay. That would have, yeah. So, 5 versus 4 now, 1 man advantage run out of Team Endpoint, 1 minute 15 left on the clock on the bomb. The remaining of the T players going to be eventually going towards that B bomb site. Max, though, on the luck, trying to find a frag and entry to sell the fake.
Frank didn't actually go for the peek, though. He could have lost his head there as Max was in position. He was primed and ready, but he's got his back turned. Never turn your back to a mighty Max. Gives a bit of that. Gives you a bit of that, mate.
How's your granddad? How's your father? So, 5 versus 3 now. 2-man advantage. And the rotations are still rather stagnant. It's all down to Lolsin. Eventually will go down to 5 versus 2. Once again, Imi loses up the jaw to Tutsco. And it's going to be Pickles there finding a nice reply frag. But Tudson from behind finds Cryptic's AFK texting his last. Yeah.
Cryptics. Well. Yeah, so what we're doing here, boys, is we are aware that it's Spider Hyphen Man.
We are aware of that.
Yeah.
But listen, is it Cobra? Is it said Cobra?
I don't think he's realised the joke, has he? What do you mean it's not Spider Hyphen Man?
Yeah, we're saying that it is.
Yeah.
Anyway. he must have thought he was so smug there. Like,
look at them two. They think it's just Spider-Man, don't they?
Yeah. Little do they know.
I've been reading comics for years.
Hashtag freak, no joking.
Meanwhile, in the game, of course,
10 to 5 is the scoreline.
Yeah, it's right. Here's the thing about Endpoint: is they can have good CT halves, or they can have incredibly soul-crushing CT halves, and more consistently in their current form, we've not seen them living up to the hypes they used to have. They used to be a very well-rounded team. Back when you were on the lineup, we did see some close CT half games.
Yeah, you say that. You say that. But no. Obviously, gosh, I'm trying to think of an answer back to that one. I think an issue that Endpoint have always had is closing out games. Yeah. Sitting in the Elite Series.
Yeah. They do get themselves these scenarios where they're looking at 40 rounds, they can't close down.
Even Imi said themselves, they just can't close out games. Obviously, issue's still there.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day,
yeah.
Sometimes in life, you've got to remember it's just all about those CT rounds, because a good example of what a CT half represents is a good stable environment where friends play together and know when enough is enough. And at the end of the day, Max, you call.
Yeah, Max, you call. Anyway, good T side there from Endpoint.
Yeah.
As they do lose the pistol, from a 0-3 deficit, they make it 10-5, so they win. Well, in terms of buy rounds, it was 10-2. If they win the second pistol on the CT side, it could be a very one-sided affair, and it could be no longer Max calling. Hashtag Max call. Hashtag Max you call.
Well, let's see if that is going to be the case, though, as they kick it off. Endpoint, will they be able to reinvitalize themselves, reinvigorate their CT halves, and close this one out? Currently leading with a nice 5-round buffer.
Yep, Imi himself has the smoke and diffuse kit. It's going to be the take now down to Tudson, and dropping that one over. So there's a lot of faith in the Polish potential star.
It can be a powerhouse, but will it come through today? Mighty Max spots them out, will call over to his teammates that he needs support towards his bomb site. Cryptics is faster than the move, but Max does it all on his lonesome. He finds the headshots. It's just Lol's left, and he is not going to be laughing about what has just occurred to his team.
4 versus 2 now. Kit still into play as the hunt comes in towards the site. Lol's now alone towards deep, but what can you really do?
Tried to reposition, but Ruler will overrule the situation, takes him down. It's all left on Tesco. He's coming in from the rear, bounces into the bomb site, finds one frag. Can he get the second? Seems like there's no buy one, get one free today over in Tesco.
Yeah. Oh, that's just a three item meal deal.
3 items or less. Well, 3 items or more, I guess, in this case.
No, it's not, because it's the crisps drink and the sandwich.
Yeah. But what if you don't want a sandwich?
You get a wrap.
Yeah, they do that, don't they?
Yeah, and the salads as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you don't want crisps as well, you can get your yogurts and whatnot.
Well, Pickles has killed him. So, unfortunately, no more Tesco. No more Tudson either.
Yeah. Tesco is closed for good for tonight. Anyway, it's going to be 5 versus 3. Eco run coming up from Team Ascend as they get the bomb down. It's looking like a very one-sided affair, as it should be the money round here for Endpoint, having 4 or 3 stay alive if possible.
Yeah, looks like there's a clean-up on bomb site B.
Mm-hmm.
Because his name's Tesco.
Ironically, works at Asda. Yeah.
Classic. That's pretty good. Pickles going to be waiting for this push to come through, but no one is going to run the risk right now. It's very messy. No late night shopping for them. Ruler will take him down though as he hits the deck, and it's just left on out at this point. Deagle to play with. He's going to be flooding his way over towards this B bomb site. Mighty Max is the only one there. Actually goes straight through Pop Dogs. Pickles pops out, and the Pickled Onions reign supreme.
Does indeed. So 4 players staying alive for the CT side. It's going to be the 7-round advantage right now for Endpoint on the CT side. Obviously, counter-terrorist, more favoured side on this map train. Let's see if they can pull this one back. Is Asda local open 24/7? Guess we're going to find out here, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Galil for Ad, and then 4 AKs to finish off the rest of the bars. Give the UMP for Cryptics, up onto Ruler, and then 3 M4s as well. Bomb left outside team, and a slow default coming out from the T side.
Flashbang goes down, but they don't push their way through it just yet. They are just trying to keep their opposition at bay. Tudson here with a smoke as well. Just playing the mind games Endpoint into this one. Cryptics actually taking the up-close and personal angle. Does have the support of Pickles, though. He has that UMP. If they fall into him and he actually picks up quite a few frags, this could be a huge economic boost for Endpoint into the round.
Interestingly as well, Orb in the hands of Ruler this time, no longer Immy. Smoke comes in towards team main, still slow play coming up for the T side. Both players tagged up in that exchange, Ad and Mighty Max. It's going to be Max alone towards B. Ad will eventually go back towards A around Pop Dog. It's going to be the A split coming out, possibly from Team Descent. 7 minutes left to play, but Ruler does find the first towards Ali. That could follow them back towards the B1 side. Yeah,
eliminating Tudson could be really big as well. He's been so impactful into these rounds, really getting some decisive kills that have allowed them to work their way through into a good position. Lol's with the back of his teammate here as well. They still wait it out. They're burning through that clock. They don't have much time left to play with. They're getting close to closing hour now as they need to push their way in. Pickles will strike though as he finds the opening kill and the second as well. It's an easy spray down for him. It's all left on Lol's as he has to try work out something. Finds the headshot back towards Cryptics. 33 seconds left to play with. The bomb site was teeming with security at that point though, and they throw him out of the store.
They do indeed. So, Tesco there. Core not paying for bags, thrown out of course. It's going to be 30-5 now, 8-run advantage run out for Team Endpoint on the CT side. It's going to be the 4 rifles up into the play of Ruler's hands. Not Immy this time, so rather interesting that he's actually going to be allowing Ruler to don that weapon. Obviously, Ruler having a very strong game, 20-8 is his current scoreline. So carrying on the form from last week, it's going to be the weak buy coming out from Team Descent. They're going to be causing buying this one, allowing Endpoint to potentially get to round number 14. And from 14-5, hope and pray they win 11 on the trot.
Yeah, they really need to try and get the momentum in their favour. They do push their way through. Cryptics, though, he's in a good position. He spots out a little bit of a panic comes through, but luckily enough, Pickles, his dynamic partner, is able to fire back. Tesco will claim 1 kill, but once again, he goes down.
4 players alive as well for Endpoint. So, money is in there, well, in their arsenal. In the inventory, it's going to be 8,000 there for Immy. As does the buy, of course. It's roughly 4,000 across the board for the CT side. Team Descent buying up with what they have left. It's going to be the tech line there for Frank. Gillo for Lols, and the AWP once again in Tudson's hands. It seems like it's all down to Tudson. No one else can really step up to the plate. Can we see the kills, please, Jacob, as well, real quick again? The scoreboard, please, Jacob, if possible. Who's on? Yeah, 4 for 15 there for Frankie. So, obviously, having the best game for himself tonight.
You mean Matt, mate.
Huh?
You mean Matt?
Hey. Oh, yeah, it's Matt. Yeah, I'm not used to being Matt this week.
You've been Matt-yed.
Matt-yed, yes, exactly. Yeah. Jacob's had a day off.
Much like Team Descent.
Yeah, they've really been taking the back seat on this one. Immy playing close. No flashbang peeks. That will eventually go down to the AWP Tudson. And now it's going to be 1-man advantage finally in favour of Team Descent.
Yep. They do have that frag in their basket, and they're waiting to check out with it, but are they going to get taken down before they can actually get there? Pickles pushes in deep as well. He's ready to try and restrict their map controllers. If he did overextend, could very easily find this frag towards Frank. He's got the bomb, but luckily enough, Lols is there to support him, drops it back. And Lols just tries to bait his teammate to aid him. Flashbang goes in. They really want to try and take down Pickles, but they're struggling. Pickles finds that frag, re-equalizes the situation, but has to get out there. Gets another kill before he goes down, though.
Ruler now picks up, catches Tudson off guard. It's going to be the 3 versus 2. 1-man advantage now for Endpoint after conceding it. It's going to be Lols versus Lols and Tesco versus the oppression of online shopping.
Very true indeed. He's doing it all by hand right now as he runs around in the elevated angle. He spots at the head of Cryptics. He's playing 4x3. What was that? Why has he just not looked?
Don't know. It's going to be Lols now on the 1 versus 3. Doesn't quite get the frag. Some Cryptics there. Clean sweep on the remaining 2 players. Match point here, 15-5. 10 more chances for Endpoint to close this one out in regulation.
Literally the entire time could see Cryptics. It was in his screen. I think he must have been playing 4x3 and it just didn't show up for him. If he would have found that kill, that could have been a different round.
That was so crisp there. The double tap before it goes down.
That was really, really big.
So, 15-5 now. Going Could be another buy count for 2%. Obviously, the bomb don't go down, but they did get the 3-4 round loss bonus, so they are going to have 4 AK buy and the UMP to add to his inventory. It's going to be a fast play towards the B bomb site, it seems. Some presence potentially shown towards Pop Dog and then eventually executing and ending towards that B site, towards the Mighty Max and Ruler himself. Can they rule this one out, Jack?
Well, let's wait and see. As right now he finds the opening kill. Pickles will fire back as well as takes down Ad. It's just left on Frank the Tank, Tesco and Hudson. As they need to try and push their way down towards this B bomb site as they are just trapped there right now. The smokes are dividing them. They can't really push their way through. Matt's going to play around the smoke as well, Snods. If they push in, they're going to have a very angry man waiting on the other side.
2 players low on the Endpoint side as well. Ruler and Pickles. 2 shots from these Kalashnikovs will take them out of the round. Still, though, the 2-man advantage, 1 minute left on the clock. The bomb going slowly back towards the A bomb site. It's going to be 3 players still remaining towards the A site from Endpoint, 2 towards B. Ruler, Mighty Max still holding the line there towards B. And from Heaven, Frank will depart. It's going to be a 5 versus 2.
Tesco, he makes his play down through Pop Dog. He's ready to try and swing wide and get these opening kills. If the chance is there, but you can see him quite timid right now. Doesn't really want to overcommit.
Yep. So, for Endpoint right now, it's looking rather secure that they do close this one out in regulation. Tesco peeking out towards Ali, finds the first. I say that, with actually Cryptix does manage to get that kill. Hudson gets the first look towards Ali, but eventually will be traded out. It's going to be 60-5 here, very one-sided affair in favour of Endpoint. Finally, Endpoint showing some online form, and that will put Team Ascend to 1-3, Endpoint to 2-3. 2-2. Yes, exactly.
Yep. There you go. Got her in the end, mate, didn't you?